Charuvi, you ready with the PowerPoint slides?
Yes, ma'am.
You can start playing from the, I think the second PPT that I sent you, you can play that.
Okay.
So good afternoon to everyone who's joined the art therapy workshop, and I hope you guys are enjoying. And today I saw so many children sending all these visual journals, and they are very, very beautiful. And I'm very happy that you are enjoying the session and you're sending your uh, exercises over. And I went through each one of them. So all the exercises are a pleasure to actually. I went through all of them, and few of them were actually very, very interesting, especially the one there was a emotions wheel associated with food. So what food makes you happy, what food makes you sad, what food makes you scared. So that child had done a very nice emotions wheel and focusing on food as the main thing. So yesterday in the evening she had sent that, and so this wheel looks like pizza, and that was Kirtana. I think Kirtana had sent that. So I just wanted to mention that particular slide, that happiness is biryani for lunch, sadness is when the cookie falls on the floor, and excitement is when McDonald's and KFC store opens near my house, and disappointment is when our valet drive delivers our food late. Fear is when mom says for lunch, bitter God, that's Karela. And fear is when mom's laziness is after eating a heavy lunch. And loathing is when someone steals your food, and anger is when we open our lunch and find out its curd rice. So biryani for lunch is happiness. So that's how the child has put this thing. So I was going through that on WhatsApp, and there are several other children who send beautiful emotions wheels, and it's really nicely done. So I'm very impressed by that. So let's start today's class. Today is about mandalas, and as you can see, this whiteboard that I have put here. So I've made a basic structure of a mandala, concentric circles. It's a geometrical pattern, and we're going to talk about this today. I mean, focus would be this art therapy exercise, that is mandala art. So mandala actually is a Sanskrit word, and it means both circles. That is circle, as in I like the center. So it represents the visible world which is outside you, and the invisible world which you is hidden from people. So we all have two facets to our personality: one which is visible to the outside world, and one which is only visible to ourselves. So this is what basically it has been. It's not a new practice. It's been practiced in Buddhism. It's been practiced in Hinduism also. So when you make a rangoli, you make same concentric circles, you make patterns, you fill colors of different color, gulal or sawdust, or you fill it up and make those concentric circles. So it's like a mandala. So you bring positive energy to your home. Why is it at the entrance of your house? It is to bring in positive energy. So the various colors have significance inside the mandala, and it brings in positive energy inside your house. So basically, mandalas are found everywhere. So it's not a new thing. It's been there. It's a traditional thing which has been practiced since ages. So it is also a part of art therapy, and you have mandala coloring books which are available on Amazon. You can also create your own mandalas. For that, perfect mandalas, you need your compass, your paper, pen, and you can make those concentric circles of different diameters, one into the other. And then you make your patterns, like you have curves, you have spirals, you can fill it up. And another place in Indian tradition where we see mandalas, the similar kind of mandala thing happening, is the mehndi. When you put mehndi in your hand, you make those designs with the cone, the mehndi cone. So that again is the same thing. You're building patterns into patterns. So as you can see on the PowerPoint presentation, there's an example of a mandala right in front of you. So this has been there since ages. So you can go to your own traditional kind of mandalas. So you can ask your mothers and all also how it helps, and so they will also be able to tell you that mandalas help in meditation. So it's a symbol for healing. And a mandala is a sacred space, often a circle, which reveals inner truth. So mandalas have two spheres. One is the inner sphere, the inside portion, which only is visible to yourself, the inner world, and the outer world. We all have two spheres to ourselves, which is visible to the outer world. You can go to the next PowerPoint presentation of the same. So again, this is another kind of a simple mandala. So even in Turkey, when you go to Turkey, the mosques, we spoke about Hinduism. We spoke about the religion, how in various religions you use mandala art. Even in Islam, you have in Turkey, whenever you have mosques, you have mandalas of different kinds. You have these, you can go to the Google sites and check the designs on the mosques. So they have these kind of Turkish designs, and these are very popular now. Even on crockery, you have these kind of prints happening. So that's digital printing, which is happening on crockery, on bed sheets and all. So those Turkish designs have come up. It is just the same as the Indian mandala, and that these Turkish designs, they are the same kind of. So you say Turkish design, crockery, pottery, or stuff. So you'll have the same kind of designs happening. So in Sanskrit, mandala means a circle. So it is derived. It's a Sanskrit word. So the powerful symbol of wholeness and connection, like gazing at a candle flame with this beautiful focusing tool, which you can bring peace and tranquility to your soul. So you can go to the next slide. So then what is mandala? It's a multi-layered universe. So a mandala is a square or circular chart with geometric designs. As I have reiterated before also, it's like a geometrical pattern. So you can use your compasses to form those perfect circles, like you will be doing an exercise after this session. So you can use, if you have a printer at home, there are templates for mandalas on the net, you can print them out. But if you don't have a printer at home, you just take your compasses and make concentric circles one into the other, because when you do it rough hand, it doesn't come out to be a perfect circle. And so you can do that. So it's a circular chart with geometric designs. It symbolizes the cosmos and everything. With cosmos, the universe. So it symbolizes the universe. A mandala is constructed of concentric circles and squares that lead to a center. So it is a meditative practice that has been done since ages. It's not a new tool that our therapists have discovered. It has been there in all the religions across the world. And you can see it in the architectural beauty. You can see it at home in the form of rangolis. So you can see it everywhere, mandala kind of art. So the eye is drawn to the center, making it a useful tool for meditation. How come it's related to meditation? So you come to the center, you keep drawing from outside and you come make circles, you come towards the center. So it takes you to a meditative state. So you should mark one thing, that this practice has been carried out since ages. It's not a new thing. So it got associated with art therapy, but it was existing since ages. So the correlation never happened. Correlation happened when art therapy tools were discovered. Art therapy came up as a science of, therapeutic practice and all that. So they used mandala. So mandala didn't come after art therapy. Mandala already existed. So mandalas play an important role in Tibetan Buddhism, where they use as means of worship. So they also do worship with these kind of mandala patterns, where they are used as a means of worship. Buddhist monks create intricate mandalas of colored sand, which are then destroyed upon completion. So the Buddhist monks, what they do is they create intricate mandalas and then with colored sand. They say, "Bachcho ko, like, kids have the sand kits with different colored sands, and you ask them to make a rangoli out of the colored sand." So it's the same thing. So they used to make it and then just they used to destroy it upon completion. This act of annihilation, destruction, signifies the transience of all life. What does it that the whole life you're decorating your life, you're creating things, you're building up your life, you're everything, and the transience of life. What is transience? The short nature of life, that one day we all have to die and go to God. So that's what the Buddhist monks philosophy is. Basically, you create it, you keep making it with colors, and one day we all leave whatever we have created, the houses we built, the children we have given birth to, and we have raised and put all our energies into bringing them up, and the people, our relatives, all those things that we had built up in our life, all those bank accounts and with this and that, whatever it is, all the materialistic things we leave behind. So this is what it shows in Buddhist philosophy. So no matter how drawn we are to its beauty or complexity, no matter how beautiful the world is, how complex it is, how full of things it is, we have to leave it one day. So it shows the transient nature of life. So that's how you correlate a mandala to a meditation. And that's how Buddhists correlated. They first keep on creating it and they make it with colored sand and then they just destroy it. So annihilation means that only. So the entire significance of this exercise for those monks is to show that life is a transient thing. You are not going to, it's not that it's just eternal. So we have to face the end too. So there's a beautiful mandala pattern at the back of the PowerPoint presentation, which you can see. It's a nice geometrical pattern. This is another example of a different kind of mandala. Now you can go to the next slide. Now, 5 reasons to start a mandala practice. So there has to be some reasons why you are doing a certain art therapy exercise and what is the reason behind it. It boosts your immune system, the system which fights all the infections. And so when you are in a calm, collected state of mind, it will boost your immunity. It will reduce stress and pain, the things that are blocking your mind, and even reduces your blood pressure. People who suffer from high blood pressure, if they indulge in these kind of art therapy practices like creating mandalas and coloring them, so they feel relaxed by doing it. So this is how it helps, and it promotes sleep. So when your blood pressure becomes normal, your immune system gets better. Automatically, your sleep pattern also becomes healthier, and it eases depression because it is all correlated. So depression is when you can't sleep, you're overthinking, you're stressed out, and anxiety goes, spirals up. So you end up into depression. So it is a chronic state of anxiety. So then, so it eases depression because in the process, it is healing your immune system. It reduces the stress and lowers blood pressure. Thereby, it promotes sleep and it also eases your depression. So that is how it helps. So if somebody asks you, so I'm doing art therapy and I'm doing this mandala exercise, how will it help me? So the question might be in your mind. So this is how it, the mandala practice helps you. And these are clinical studies. What does clinical study do? How is clinical study different from normal study? Clinical studies are studies that are done in a proper, medical practice. So these are clinical studies that are being quoted here. This is not just being said by an art therapist or by any XYZ person. So this has been a proven technique, which is people have researched on it, people have done it, and there have been studies on all of this. Then they came to this conclusion, and that's how it became part of art therapy. So it just didn't come because Bushra Masood said it, or some Farah Saroj said it, or Charu said it. Nobody's saying it just out of the blue that today I think I'll do mandala. Why? Because it helps in reducing stress. No, because there have been proper studies done on it, and it's an ancient science which has come across through several stages, and then it has been adapted. So there's proper science and studies associated with these things. Yes, you can go to the next slide. What is a mandala? So there are different people who have written about mandalas, researchers and people who've done research on these things. Zenobia Bailey has chosen to use a circular form of mandala in many of her works. The word mandala comes to us from Sanskrit language and translates as circle containing or circle completion. Mandalas are found in many religions and cultures, which I've already spoken about. The figure is significant to both the Hindu and Buddhist faiths. I also said in Islam, in all the Turkish mosques, if you have the Moroccan designs, you see these mandala patterns. You go on Google and see, and you will find that these same patterns are there. So the circular shape, something enclosing a square, may serve as a focus to assist with meditation. It is also an important ritualistic design in religious Tibetan sand painting. So it is ritualistic also, like I spoke about the Buddhist monks doing it. And the mandala is often used as a means of teaching about spirituality and an individual's place in the universe. The mandala can be used as a symbol for the universe. Its circumference embodies the cosmos and encompasses the forces of the nature. So this is basically these 5-6 the slides dealt with what to give you an idea about what a mandala is. So here I have already drawn one for you, just a rough hand drawing. And as I have told you before, that Amazon has a lot of books on it for practice. So if you want, you can order 1 or 2 books and you can start doing that. And yes, for today's homework also you have to end up doing that. So the next PowerPoint.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Yeah. And yes, very important message sent by Charubi on the group is you have to attend all the sessions to get the certificate. See, we are certifying that you know art therapy in this workshop. How will you know if you have missed few classes? So they will not, Nurture Life will not be able to give it to you. So that's what Charubi has floated this message on the WhatsApp group, so that you all pay heed to it and don't miss even a single session. Today is already the 4th day. So they will only give certificates if you have attended all the sessions properly. So, you would have the proper this thing know-how of it. So art therapy fundamentals. What is so here you have a drawing of a mandala. So there is a 10-inch circle within a square. Because there is a square, there is a circle inside it, and you can cut this. You can do paper cuttings like a stencil, like you make a stencil out of paper. You can take paper, make folds, make the patterns with a pencil or sketch pen, and you cut make a paper cutting. So, art therapy can be not done in one way, in different way. A mandala can be made in the form of a rangoli. A mandala can be made in the form of mehendi in your hand. A mandala can also be done on copies, on books, or as in like an art journal, you do it. Mandala can also be done in the form of stenciling, of paper cutting. You're cutting those designs and you make beautiful cut work patterns like this, the one which is already shown here. So you can do, when you show me your art therapy exercise, I would want you to experiment into different ways of doing it. So, some people might like that cut work on the paper. It's really nice and it comes out very nice. And the stencils can be used when you're doing your paintings and canvas arts. You can use those paintings as a stencil, so you can make and create your own designs. It's like a infinite field. So it's not that only one template is there of a mandala on the Google and that is what a mandala is. No, it is up to your creativity, how many circles you made, how many geometric patterns you've made, how you've placed it on that. So it will vary from one to the other. So it does not have a fixed template that this is only a mandala. It could have various forms depending what you have created with your own self. So, and then, so this is about that paper cutting mandala. So you basically, that's what it is saying. So, and the same thing is written. I don't want to repeat. The overview says the same, that it's from a Sanskrit word, and what does it mean? It means a center, and how does it represent? So it's the same. So you can go to the next slide. So what are the benefits of mandalas? It relieves tension, anxiety, fear, and worry, number one. Second thing, it relaxes and heals the mind, body, and spirit. Third is that it releases suppressed and repressed feelings and emotions. And fourth is freedom to express feelings non-threatening way. So where there are times where you don't want to, go into this thing, that you don't want to express your thoughts to people. You're scared that how they react to your feelings. So you can practice these exercises, art therapy, which is only a personal thing to you. And since you're learning all this in this workshop, and you know now how to practice for anxiety, how you need to practice for other things, so now you can put into place what you want to do. You want to take a visualization method. You want to do your art journaling, like the girls have put up. Some of the art journals are so beautiful. So on the WhatsApp groups, you can resort to that. You can make your emotions real. And
Podcast on the screen.
yeah, so there's Maitri who's made this happiness journal over here. And yesterday also I had appreciated one or two girls who had really done beautiful art journals. One was Gurcharan. Gurcharan's art journal looks very, very nice. So creating a mandala, the internet has a wealth of mandalas and their meanings. Many sites have mandalas ready for coloring as a free copy or download, which, as I had already spoken to you about, it is always best to select color intuitively, as in intuitively means something which comes from your sixth sense. So intuition, say a word intuitively has come from that word. With the assistance of Spirit and Destiny magazine, find below colors and the symbolic meanings to assist you making your mandala color choice. So when I was making this PowerPoint presentation, I was just thinking, because there are a lot of questions at the end of the sessions. I thought by now I also kind of relate to the students. So anything, if you have not understood, I think try to put together everything in the PPT so that it's easy for you to understand the meaning, how it comes into existence, how it correlates with art therapy, how it is done, and then how are the different ways of doing mandala, so it's not boring to you. And then now this is again about, if you don't have anything, if you're clueless about drawing and you're too lazy to do the geometric patterns, so you have it on the internet. That is what it says, that you have many sites that have mandalas ready for coloring. So you take that template, take a printout, and you can use that. So red you can put, which gives strength, high energy, passion. Pink is for love, intuition, and femininity, feminism. Orange shows transformation, self-awareness and intuition. Yellow is for learning, wisdom, laughter and happiness. And yellow is, yesterday also we were talking about color psychology. So color psychology, see, everything correlates. It's not that you studied color psychology वो वहीं खत्म हो गया. It is correlating. आप मंडाला में जब color करते हैं, your colors will, yes. So Gurcharan is saying about the positive aspects of colors on a psychology. Yes, we spoke about it yesterday and we apply it on the mandalas. So you use red, yellow, green. Green is for physical healing and the love of nature, and it shows caring. And blue show is for emotional healing, inner peace and meditation. So purple is for all things spiritual, white for spiritual purpose, black for mystery, deep thinking. So we had yesterday done this whole exercise into detail. So the whole thing yesterday was about this only. So you can just apply it here now. You can put all these the color psychology things that you had learned. You can use those colors in your mandala. It could just be a shades of blue in the mandala. It could be just a blue or green mandala. It could be red mandala. That depends. So you can go to the next slide. So now this is a simple mandala pattern that has got concentric circles, some scalloping around the circles, and then you have this center with other circles outside the circle. So these patterns you see, as you see some flowers like gerberas and all. So you've seen flowers like dahlia and gerbera. So they have these concentric petals in concentric circles, and that is nature's geometry. So there's no, that's not man-made geometry, it's nature's geometry, and you see these flowers having this in a natural state. So basically this mandala is in the shape of a flower, and it shows the different patterns of lines and curves and all these different patterns that you want to create. You can take a picture, take a printout. If though you don't have to go to the internet, it's already there. This one I had saved so that if those girls or boys, whoever is there in the workshop, wants to take a printout, can use this. Yeah. Next slide. Next slide, Charlie. Yeah. So this is a little more complex mandala, which is done. You go to the previous one. Yeah, so this is a little more complex one. It's got circles and then curves and then again, so how you can make it a simple mandala, how if you want, you can put even more different layers into it, detailing into it. So the more detailed you make it, it depends. If you want to make a detailed one, you can do that. If you want to make a simple mandala, you can do that. That's up to you how you use that skill to, create something on paper. So now we can go to the next slide. You can take this printout also if you want. Mehendi inspired mandalas. Tutorials are there, and so you can follow some on YouTube if you want to do it. So you have a basic center shape, then borders, then petals and leaves and fillings, and okay. So fillings and then filling of leaves is there, outer adornments are there. So when you actually go, I forgot to put a slide of Turkish mosques over here. I should have got a slide of that to show you because that also you in the mosques also you see these patterns are made. So that's the way they are. So it's a lot in the Middle East because I've seen these patterns in Middle East also. So this is basically how you can, create these mandalas. This is about how you make a mandala, different layers of it. So you can go to the next slide, whether you apply it as a mehendi or whether you, make it on paper. So this is with an affirmation mandala. This is one which says, be brave. Be brave Why? See, because we are driven by insecurity, especially during COVID-19. All of us are going through a lot of insecurity. And so you have to put your affirmations. So you can use an affirmation mandala. So this is another variant of the same. So this is done with feathers. So this got hanging beautiful feathers, just like a dream catcher. You know what's a dream catcher? Dream catchers is something which catch your bad dreams, your nightmares. So you have those dream catchers. So this mandala is inspired by the dream catcher shape, and on top of it is a affirmation which says be brave. So it affirms that to you. At the same time, it creates something beautiful what you wanted. You can make this and you can put it on your wall, on in your room, so that you keep looking at it and get inspired every day when you get up in the morning. Be brave, be kind, you are loved. You can put the affirmations you want on the mandala. So how you combine, how you correlate, how nobody, there's no end to correlations and making work, and there is no end to creativity. There is no boundary to creativity. So it transcends all boundaries. Once I am just telling you the way it is all done. Now it's up to you how to use it and to what level you take it. So now that's like an open stage for you. And this is another mandala. Traditionally, we just saw that black and white pattern. So this I purposely had put up because it's got a merging background of different colors, and with a white pen, it's been made. So it gives a totally different effect. And
Ma'am, your video is stuck.
totally different artistic appeal to me. So you, sorry.
Your video got stuck for a minute. Could you please repeat the last line?
So can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm audible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is about a different artistic mandala which has been done using white highlighter. So you can go to the next slide. So this is another one which has been done with one of those pens which have those nibs, the thin nibs. So those kind of so you have those uniball pens, the black pens, the white pens, and red pens. So you can use those pens also and fill up the shapes. So this is again a reference picture which I have put of a mandala. And because mandala is not associated only one pattern, so how it can be, this is just a red, black, and white mandala. This is like a very different one from the ones that you just saw. And so you can use your writing board, the ones you use in your exams, put your paper on it, use your pens, your pilot pens, your ballpoint pens, and your gel pens, and create this. Always rise above the drama. Again, this is like, you affirm, you put your affirmation, you make your concentric circles here and there, and and then you go to the next slide. I'll show you another very creative mandala. So this is here of a woman. See, she's shown half the face of a woman, and with the hair, the extensions of the hair, she's shown the various spirals, the patterns, the lines, and everything. So this is how it has made it look very interesting. So there are spirals, there are curves, and there are concentric circles into circles. So this is up to you how you use your mandala. It's not just one circle with circles in it. You can do this, you can put affirmations, it's all up to you. So I think that's the last slide of this PPT, or is
Yes.
there any? All right. So we've almost crossed the time for our session. It's 40 minutes. And now the questions, if you have any.
Yes, there was one question. I started making a mandala and then in the end it got spoiled. I couldn't make the center at the end. So what should I do?
Okay. That's what I'm telling you. I'm giving you as a practice exercise. You do this at home. And as I told you, I've given you so many templates. So you take the printout and you can, and if you want to do a digital mandala, you can save it on your Paint, the MS Paint, the software which is on your laptop. So you can save it there and you can use your Paint tools and you can just color inside it. So you don't, if you're not good at copying something and you're not able to do it, center kharab ho gaya, it got spoiled in the center, basically that's what the child is trying to say. So if it got spoiled, no issues, just go to the templates that I have given on the PowerPoint presentations and use them either on Paint, or you can take a printout, or you can copy it if you want with your geometrical tools, as I told you. So there's no issue. You have to do this practice exercise now.
I think she's talking about concentration problem. She has some
Yes.
concentration issue. Can you please guide her?
The center got spoiled. That's what she asked me.
No,
She lost the concentration at
yeah.
the end.
So she lost the concentration while doing the mandala. It is for focus, it is for meditating and concentration. So it's better if you find a peaceful, quiet place. You sit there, you focus more on what you're doing, and try to find, like at this moment, I'm doing this Zoom meeting, so I'm in a closed room. So if I have disturbance around me, my focus of my mind shifts into the voices around me, because somebody might be just asking me something, and somebody might be coming from behind to pick up something from my table, so I will get disturbed, and the focus will get disturbed. So you need, it is a meditative painting, you need a proper place if you're doing it by hand, so that you can focus on it, and you know what you're doing, then gradually the focus increases on it.
Uh, do different patterns of mandalas, the simplicity of or complexity, also signify different meaning?
Sorry, what?
Do the different patterns of mandalas, whether we make a simple mandala or a complex mandala, also signify some meaning?
It is your inner state and your outer state that comes out on paper. So mandala drawings are simply a meditative practice. It is an art therapy tool which has been used. So complex mandala and simple mandala don't signify some two very different things. It is your own creativity which comes out on paper when you're making your own mandala. And since if it is a template, you cannot say that it shows your state of mind, because it's a ready template. So it will not reflect your state of mind or your meditative state, because you have to go from the outer to the inner, building those patterns. So if you have not made it by hand, then in that case, and it's a ready template, you cannot actually compare the things. So it is these are two different things. When you're practicing yourself and you are there with somebody and you show those things, then probably it will be a different inference altogether. Otherwise, not much of a difference between a complex and a simple mandala.
Do art-based therapists ask clients to specifically make mandalas during session?
If you go on YouTube and you type art therapy videos, you will see that all the art therapists that are there are doing mandalas. So it is a very, it's a known practice in art therapy. So you can, you have all those different, the YouTube videos are from different bodies, like the American Art Association, there are various bodies of art therapy. So if you go and see the links on YouTube, you will check it out that mandala is a meditative practice which has been practiced by mostly all the art therapists.
Okay. The meeting is about to end, so everybody please rejoin when it ends with the same link. It will just
So
end.
yes, today's session has come to a close, and I want you to do this